Hello students, I am Sir Glenn, your subject teacher. Welcome to General Mathematics, Grade 11. Our main topic is still about logarithmic functions. Today's topic is all about representations of logarithmic functions. Papaano nga ba natin ma-represent ang isang logarithmic function? So, gaya ng isang exponential function, a logarithmic function can also be represented in terms of its equation, table of values, and graph. Let's recall the following terms. An exponential function is a one-to-one function because it satisfies the horizontal line test. Since it is a one-to-one function, then it has its inverse. The inverse of an exponential function is the logarithmic function. So, obtaining the inverse of an exponential function. Itry nga natin i-obtain ang inverse ng isang exponential function. So, the first step, we replace f of x using y. So, that is the exponential function. We just replace f of x using y. The second step, we interchange the variables x and y. So, y will be x and x will be y. And then solve for y in terms of x. So this can be written as y is equal to log base b of x. And then lastly, we replace y using f raised to negative 1 of x. So our inverse for the exponential function f of x is equal to b raised to x is equivalent to log base b of x. That is our logarithmic function, yung inverse ng ating exponential function. So how do we represent a logarithmic function? So a logarithmic function can be represented through its equation, table of values, and graph. So to represent it in its equation, all we need to do is to replace f of x using y. Para i-represent siya sa pamamagitan ng kanyang equation, papalitan lamang si f of x, ilalagay si y. To represent it graphically, we plot the coordinates from the generated table of values. So, para ma-graph natin ang isang logarithmic function, kailangan natin yung mga coordinates na nakuha natin na na-generate coming from the table of values. Representing it in its table of values using the given logarithmic function is a difficult process. Kasi kapag gagamitin natin yung given na logarithmic function mismo sa pagkuha ng table of values, ang makukuha natin ay mga decimal numbers. Ang decimal niya ay madami, and then we'll be needing the help of a calculator. An easier method is by rewriting the given logarithmic function to its equivalent exponential form. So y is equal to log base b of x becomes x is equal to b raised to y. So ang gagamitin natin in generating the table of values for a logarithmic function ay yung equivalent exponential form niya. And then we start choosing arbitrary values for y in order to solve for x. So this, for you to be able to understand this, let's try to answer the following examples. Example 1, represent the following logarithmic functions in terms of their equation, table of values, and graph. So we have f of x is equal to log base 2 of x, then f of x is equal to log base 3 of x, f of x is equal to 2 times log base 2 of x, and then f of x is equal to negative log base 3 of x. So for the solutions, ito ho yung mga solutions niya. So let us now proceed in answering the first example. We represent the following logarithmic functions in terms of their equation, table of values, and graph. So let's start doon sa A. We have here, the given is f of x is equal to log base 2 of x. So the equivalent equation for this one, is y is equal to log base 2 of x. So as I mentioned in the previous slide, in representing the logarithmic function in terms of its equation, we just replace f of x using y. So, for our table of values naman, how are we going to represent this one in terms of its table of values? So, doon sa slide natin, ang sinabi doon, kailangan nating i-rewrite si logarithmic function in terms of its equivalent exponential function. So, this can be written as x is equal to 2 raised to y. After we transform the given logarithmic function to its equivalent exponential form, saka na natin siya gagawa ng table of values. So, this will be x, and then this will be log base 2 of x, or yan yung y natin. Y is equal to, we have here negative 3, the negative 2, the negative 1, followed by 0, and 1, 2, and 3. So, as you can see in the exponential form, ang hinahanap dyan ay si x. So, we solve for the value of x for the given y values. So, papaano natin hanapin yung mga x values niya? All we have to do is to substitute each y value sa ating variable na y. So, una, if x is equal to negative 3, then this will be, if y is equal to negative 3, then this will be x is equal to 2 raised to negative 3, that is 1 all over 2 raised to 3. So we have 2 raised to 3 is 8. So our x value if y is equal to negative 3 is 1 all over 8. If y is negative 2, then this will be x is equal to 2 raised to negative 2. 2 raised to negative 2 is equivalent to 1 all over 2 raised to 2, applying the laws of exponents. And then 2 squared is 4. So our x value is 1 all over 4 if our y is negative 2. If x is equal to negative 1, then we have, if y is equal to negative 1, then x is equal to 2 raised to negative 1. 2 raised to negative 1 is equivalent to 1 all over 2 raised to 1, or simply 1 half. If y is 0, so if y is equal to 0, then we have x is equal to 2 raised to 0. We know that any number raised to 0 except 0 is automatic 1 ang sagot. So, if y is 0, then x is 1. And if y is equal to 1, then we have x is equal to 2 raised to 1 is 2. If y is equal to 2, then we have x is equal to 2 squared is equivalent to 4. And if y is equal to 3, then we have x is equal to 2 cubed is equivalent to 8. So we now write the answers that we obtained here. We have 2, 4, and 8. So this is how we obtain table of values for a given logarithmic function. And after that, kapag nakuha na natin yung ating table of values, ang next na gagawin na ay i-graph na natin yung mga coordinates na nakuha natin from the table of values. So after obtaining the table of values, we now represent the given function through its graph. So papaano natin yung gagawin? Syempre of course, kailangan natin mag-drawing ng ating Cartesian plane. So this is our Cartesian plane. And then ang ating y values ay from negative 3 to positive 3. So this will be negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, and then 1, 2, and 3. For our x values, 1, 8 up to positive 8. So this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So if x is 1 all over 8, then y is equal to negative 3. So this is 1/2, then 1/4, ito yung 1 all over 8. If x is 1 all over 8, then y is negative 3. If x is 1 all over 4, y is negative 2. So, andito siya. If x is 1/2, y will be negative 1. If x is 1, y will be 0. If x is 2, y will be 1. If x is 3, y will be... if x is 4, y will be 2. And if x is 8, y will be 3. And after plotting the points from our table of values, we connect the points using a smooth curve. So this will be the appearance of our graph. So we connect the dots using a smooth curve. So this is the graph of the given logarithmic function. If titignan natin yung graph ni item A doon sa ating graphing calculator, this will be y is equal to log base 2 of x. Ito ho ang magiging appearance ng ating graph. So for our second item, we have f of x is equal to log base 3 of x. So I'll just write it here. So it'll be f of x is equal to log base 3 of x. So for its equation, we just replace f of x using y. Y is equal to log base 3 of x. For our table of values, this will be kailangan nating i-rewrite itong equation in terms of its equivalent exponential form. This can be written as x is equal to 3 raised to y. So from this, makakapag-generate tayo ng ating table of values. So this will be x, and then this will be y is equal to log base 3 of x. We have negative 3 si y, then negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2, and 3. So if y is negative 3, then we have x is equal to 3 raised to negative 3. This is equivalent to 1 all over 3 cubed. 3 cubed is equivalent to 3 cubed. And 3 cubed is equivalent to 3 times 3 times 3, or that is 27. So 1 all over 27. If y is equal to negative 2, then we have x is equal to 3 raised to negative 2 This is equivalent to 1 all over 3 squared, and 3 squared is equivalent to 9. So 1 all over 9. If y is negative 1, then we have x is equal to 3 raised to negative 1. That is equivalent to 1 all over 3. So we write 1/3 here. If x is equal, or if y, if y is equal to 0, then we have x is equal to 3 raised to 0, or that is 1. And any number raised to 0 except si 0, ang sagot ko ay 1. If y is equal to 1, then we have x is equal to 3 raised to 1, 3 raised to 1, or that is equivalent to 3. If y is equal to 2, then we have x is equal to 3 squared. 3 squared is equivalent to 9. And if y is equal to 3, then we have x is equal to 3 cubed. 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. We have here 27. So after, this is now our table of values for the given logarithmic function. Ang next na kukunin natin, ang next na gawin natin ay we represent it using its graph. So syempre, just like what we did in the previous example, kailangan nating gumawa ng Cartesian plane. Sorry sa aking drawing. So, ang ating y values ay from negative 3 to positive 3. At ang x values natin ay from 1 all over 27 to 27. So, I guess I can just represent 1 all over 9 kasi 1 all over 27 mahirap na siyang ma-visualize. At yung 27, medyo mahaba na yung ating graph. So, hanggang 9 lang ho. This will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So if x is 1 all over 9, so suppose yung 1 all over 9 ay nandito, y will be negative 2. If x is 1/3, then y will be negative 1. If x is 1, y is 0, dito siya. If x is 3, y will be 1. And if x is 9, y will be 2. And after plotting the points, we connect the dots using a smooth curve. So, sorry kung hindi smooth yung aking pagkaka-connect. Yan. So, this is our graph for the given logarithmic function. So, if we will graph this item sa ating graphing calculator, ang kanyang magiging appearance ay, this will be y is equal to log base 3 of x. So, ganito ho ang kanyang magiging appearance. Okay? For item C, we have f of x is equal to 2 times log base 2 of x. So, ang equivalent equation nito, all we need to do is to replace f of x using y. Y is equal to 2 times log base 2 of x. So, for its table of values, we analyze first our equation. We analyze our equation. So, as you can see, sa equation natin, this can be written as y is equal to 2 times log base 2 of x. So, meaning, makukuha natin yung, ma-generate natin yung table of values para sa equation na ito sa pamamagitan ng table of values ni y is equal to log base 2 of x. So, papaano yan? Papaano natin yung gagawin? So, we can generate the table of values this way. We have here x, and then we have here the y value for log base 2 of x. And then here, sa pangatlong row, andyan na yung y value ni 2, yung y value for the given equation, 2 times log base 2 of x. So, sorry sa aking hindi pantay-pantay na lines. So, this will be negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, then 0, 1, 2, and 3. So, kanina, doon sa item A, nakuha na natin yung equivalent or yung mga values ni x. We have 1 all over 8, 1 all over 4, this will be 1 all over 2, and then 1, and then 2, 4, and 8. So, we can generate the table of values for our logarithmic function by using the table of values that we obtained doon sa item A, which is y is equal to log base 2 of x. Kasi kung titingnan natin, parang transformation ni y is equal to log base 2 of x yung given na logarithmic function. So, all we have to do is to multiply yung second row by 2. So, 2 times negative 3, this will be negative 6. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. And 2 times 3 is 6. So, ang table of values natin ngayon para sa ating given na equation ay this one. 1 all over 8 if y is negative 6. 1 all over 4 if y is negative 4. 1 half if y is negative 2. 1 if y is 0. And then 2 if y is 2. We have 4 if y is 4. And we have 8 if y is 6. So, ito ngayon yung ating table of values para sa ating item C. And then, for our graph, para sa ating graph, syempre, gaya ng mga ginawa natin before, gagawa tayo ng Cartesian plane. Mag-sketch tayo ng ating Cartesian plane. So again, sorry sa aking drawing. So here, kahit hanggang kay negative 4 na lang, negative 4 to positive 4 yung ating ipa-plot. So negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. This will be positive 1, 2, 3, and 4. If x is 1/4, and then ito hanggang kay 8. If we have here, if x is 1/4, y is negative 4. So, suppose nandito yung 1/4, nandito yung kanyang point. 1/4 and negative 4. If x is 1/2, then y is negative 2. So, nandito yung 1/2. At yung 2 para kay y. If x is 1, y is 0. If x is 2, y is 2. And if x is 4, y is 4. So after plotting the points, the coordinates from our table of values, we connect the dots using a smooth curve. So again, sorry sa aking drawing kung hindi siya smooth curve. So this is the graph for our function. At kapag titignan natin yan, ipa-plot natin yan sa ating graphing calculator. This will be y is equal to 2 times log base 2 of x. So, yan ho ang magiging appearance ng ating graph. For the fourth item sa ating example 1, we have the function is f of x is equal to negative log base 3 of x. So, for our equation here, we just replace f of x using y. Y is equal to negative log base 3 of x. For our table of values, so gagamitan natin siya. As you can see, this equation can be written as y is equal to negative 1 times log base 3 of x. So kung titignan natin, na-generate yung logarithmic equation na ito from our logarithmic equation 3. Y is equal to log base 3 of x. So, para makuha natin yung table of values for this specific function, gagamitin natin yung table of values for yung table of values na nakuha natin kay y is equal to log base 3 of x. So, para magawa yan, we create our table. So, this will be x. This will be our y for log base 3 of x, and then this will be our y for negative 1 times log base 3 of x. So this will be negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2, and 3. So nakuha na natin kanina yung mga x values ng ating logarithmic function na y is equal to log base 3 of x. So if y is negative 3, then x is 1 all over 27. If y is negative 2, it will be 1 all over 9. Kapag negative 1 naman siya, 1 all over 3. Kapag 0, we have 1. If y is 1, x is 3. If y is 2, x is 9. And if y is 3, x is 27. So, anong gagawin natin dito? I-multiply para makuha natin yung y values niya, y values ng ating given logarithmic equation. We multiply the second row using negative 1. So, negative 1 times negative 3 is positive 3. Negative 1 times negative 2 is 2. Negative 1 times negative 1 is 1. Negative 1 times 0 is 0. Negative 1 times 1 is negative 1. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. So therefore, our table of values for the given function is this one. We have here x and we have here y. So we have 3, 2, 1, 0, negative 1, negative 2, and negative 3. For the x values, we have 1 all over 27, 1 all over 9, 1/3, 1, 3, 9, and 27. So ito ho ang ating table of values for the function f of x is equal to negative 1 times log base 3 of x. So para ma-represent ito using its graph, gagamitin natin itong table of values na nakuha natin. So just like in our previous example, since mahaba na ho, kapag i-consider natin yung hanggang kay 27, we just consider 1 all over 9 up to 9 for our x values. So gagawa na tayo ng ating table. Ng ating Cartesian plane. So for our y values, syempre hanggang kay 2 lang yung i-consider natin. then kay x hanggang kay 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So, if x is 1 all over 9, then y will be positive 2. So, sa taas naman tayo. If x is 1/3, then y will be positive 1. So, sabihin na natin nandito siya. If x is 1, y will be 0. If x is 3, y will be negative 1. So, ito yung 3, ito yung negative 1. So, andito yung kanyang point. And if x is 20, if x is 9, I mean, y is negative 2. So, nandito ho yung kanyang point. So, after nating i-plot, pwede na nating i-connect yung mga points using a smooth curve. So, as I said, pasensya na ho sa aking pag-connect ng mga dots kasi hindi smooth yung aking drawing. Ayan. So, kung titingnan natin ito sa ating graphing calculator, ang appearance niya ay ganito. Okay? Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel for more math videos.